Well, hello, good morning, welcome back to the channel. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend and, above all else, a fantastic Easter. Now, without further ado, we are here to begin this week's live reaction of Fairy Tale Chapter 531 of its name, Pegasus vs. Technologia. Now, we have a cover. A colored cover of Team Natsu, Lucy, Natsu, Happy, Gray, Wendy, and Erza. We promise we'll spend the next 100 years together. Okay? Want more information? Okay, so more information about the movie coming up. And as is all in Japanese, it's kind of impossible for me to read. Because I do not yet know how to speak Japanese. But let us begin with the chapter in and on itself. Towards Technologia's destruction, a trap near the jaws of death. It won't be so simple, but anyway. I wonder if he'll follow us like this all the way there. I mean, I'm not trying to get him to follow us because I like it. Why is she just... I get... Oh god. She has a thing for nudism as well, but anyway. According to my calculations, sex appeal isn't going to work very well on this guy. Those are some pretty damn accurate calculations you got there. Okay. Hannah and Wendy are speaking. Okay. Wendy is saying that she wants to remember the time she spent with Hannah. That desire alone is enough. You'll remember in due time. Things have an order to them, you know. Okay. Jalal is saying, I don't know how much I should trust her words or, to be honest, her very persona. At present, this plan is the only shot we have at defeating Technologia. Yeah, I trust her because otherwise we won't be able to do anything. Okay. And along comes Ichiya just again. I love this guy's poses. We're reaching those predetermined coordinates. Okay. Apparently they are nearing the ravine. 400 meters, 300, 200, 100. Barrel roll. Man. I love it here. Okay. We are through the ravines of time. Apparently it's that poof over there. Now we just gotta wait for Technology to pass through there and touch the ravines of time. And he'll disappear. Of course, that won't be that easy. So that's the cartoony bit. Oh, just the tiny Technology is so cute. So it touches the ravine of time. Massive explosion. Jesus! Holy heck! He just grabbed onto the ship. I knew it. The ravines of time return to a state where they can be visually seen. Ooh! They went from white to black. The ravines of time are closed. Ooh. So back to Zarev. I am the one who found the ravines of time. They are filled with unimaginable strong time magic. And that time magic is all mine. So I sealed it off until I finished Neo Eclipse. Oh, that makes sense. This is really bad. We'll be beaten up along with the ship. Okay, break the lacrima that allows dragon slayers to ride on this dragon without getting sick. He's a dragon slayer. If you break it, he won't be able to hold on anymore. Yeah, that means Wendy will be sick as well. And didn't she had a magic that would allow her to more safely ride vehicles? We are going to rip open the ravines of time. We must defeat technology whatever it takes. So they decided to open the book and out come letters. Oh. They're flowing out of the book, and all of this is about Natsu. Okay. Could this be what? You cannot stop me, then I will. Pum pum pum. Now the preparations for new eclipse are finally complete. You walk right into the wolf's den, lady. Okay. Zeref's flames exploded. Get back first. Oh, I just got all fired up. As Zeref spins catastrophe, Natsu and his burning soul take a stand. The power of dragons. Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. Okay. Let us stop a little bit. First, Natsu loses his dragon powers because he decided he was neither a dragon nor a demon, and thus both seeds were destroyed. And now you're trying to tell me that all of a sudden it goes back to him. If he paints it as a thing like, oh, they opened the book, they released Natsu's powers, then maybe, and that's like a very big maybe. I'm cool with it, but if they give no explanation whatsoever as to why Natsu's lost dragon powers have returned, then I'm really not up to it. Anyway, next issue, super hot, cover and color title page, double chapter. Because I believe that next week there won't be a chapter, so that would be, let me get the calendar. I haven't gotten the calendar in quite a while, have I? So next week would be the 24th of April. And I believe, well, the thing is, since the chapters have been releasing on the weekend, that would mean 22 or 23. Maybe there are chapters in that weekend and not in 29 and 30 of April, because I believe that the week of 24 all the way to 30, or the last week of April, is the Golden Week in Japan, and therefore Shonen Jump or the chapters don't get released, so there won't be a chapter of One Piece next week most likely, nor of Boku no Hero, and depending on the day they actually release, neither will there be a chapter for Fairy Tail and the Seven Deadly Sins. But it's cool to know that we will have a double chapter. Very, very cool. Now, I gotta say, I'm hitting a rock with Fairy Tail, really. I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel to just, not to keep interested because I'm still interested in see where this is going. But with each chapter that releases, I just don't know. I don't know how I should feel about Fairy Tail. I sure don't feel about Fairy Tail the same way I felt before, or even the same way I feel about the Seven Deadly Sins, for instance, or Boku no Hero Academy. I don't even say One Piece because you know me, One Piece is my favorite out of the four. But the Seven Deadly Sins, Boku no Hero Academy, and Fairy Tail were on pretty even terms. Fairy Tail now, I still like it, but things just there's too much into these chapters, and instead of fleshing out a situation and then moving on to the other, he slowly moves each situation a tiny bit in each chapter. And it takes a lot to connect the dots between all of them. Most of these situations we still don't know how they will pan out, and they are all happening at the same time. So it makes some sense in a way. And despite the fact that Hana's appearance and the ravines of time and Neo Eclipse and whatnot, they were all a bit too sudden for my taste. There was no building up to this. In the beginning of this saga, there was the threat of Alvarez taking Mavis because of Luministoire or Fairy Heart. But then all of a sudden that was forgotten. That turned into an all-out war between Alvarez and Fiore. And like all of a sudden Acknowledge appears and Hana appears, and then there's the Neo Eclipse, and then again Mavis is required once again, but no one says why. I don't know if it has been explained or not, apart from the whole thing of being an immense source of magic power. I still don't know what Fairy Heart is exactly. All we know, I believe, it's that Fairy Heart is, as I said, an immeasurable source of magic power, and that it's Mavis's body herself. So I really don't let me. Yes, Fairy Heart, also known as Luministoire, is Fairy Tail's greatest secret and a very powerful magic said to be superior to the three great fairy magics. But we really don't know what it is. Yeah, it's said to be Fairy Tail's strongest weapon, but no one actually says what it is. Like, is it just Mavis herself? And we know she's a good strategist. She was known as the fairy strategist. So maybe it's just her, like in her mind or whatever. She's like Charles Xavier for Fairy Tail, or in comparison, a very very lab comparison. But there are some things that should have been closed in this saga that weren't. There were things that were open for no reason, and I just don't know how to feel about Fairy Tail anymore. Like, I'm gonna keep reading, of course. I'm one of those people that complains, but then a new Fairy Tail chapter, let's go read it. I'm one of those persons. Someone should make a gif of like someone uninterested, and then all of a sudden someone saying, hey, there's a new Fairy Tail chapter, and then me just focusing on the chapter. But anyway, this was it for this week's chapter of Fairy Tail. A shorter video, I know, but then again, Fairy Tail as of late has been a lot of text and smaller bits of action, so nothing to. Until we get further explanation on the things we are dealing with, like, there's really not much ground to go on about. I still don't think that this whole Ravines of Time thing will work. Like, there has to be another way of defeating Technology. There will be another way of defeating Technology, because if Zeref himself is still the Ravines of Time, then there's no going back. Like, I don't think that even if Zeref is defeated, which in and on itself won't happen until Technology himself is defeated, because I don't believe personally that Technology will be defeated after Zeref, or I should say that I believe that Zeref is the final guy to fall. He must be the final guy to fall. Technology can fall like right before him, but acknowledge you will and must fall first. Or they should just duke it out, the two of them, like send them to a deserted island. Just leave them there. Leave them to kill each other. Or do whatever it is they want to do. Everything is allowed these days, so let them do whatever the hell they want to do. But anyway, this sorry about that. This was it for this week's chapter of Fairy Tale. Coming right up, we have this week's chapter of the 7 Deadly Sins, which I am much more entitled to read, and I really want to see what is King going to do against Ro. I should say Gloxinia, not King. It's King in Gloxinia's body, and that's what it is. But that will have to be for that video, which will be coming right away. Speaking of coming, not right away, but coming this week, we have 2 double chapter videos for One Piece and Boku no Hero Academy, because last week I had to leave earlier for work and I couldn't record One Piece on Thursday, and I was not here to record for Boku no Hero Academy because I went out for Easter time. But I am back, and this week we will have those 2 double chapter videos, but they will come when they are due. So I'll see you right away for the 7 Deadly Sins video. See you soon.